Sorry. This is Rockin' with J-Man, and today I'm hanging with Sticks and Stones.
Yeah,
How's
how's
it
it going?
going?
It's going great, man. It's my pleasure speaking with you guys. So hope you guys are having a good one so far.
Yeah,
Likewise, it's a pleasure being here.
yeah,
So for people just discovering Sticks and Stones, can you give me the story on how this band started?
yeah, for sure. I'll just give you a quick rundown. We started back in 2014 as kids doing, a music school, just doing a rock, like school of rock type of program thing. Um, and yeah, we formed a band. It was me, Nick, and another kid, and one of the teachers, and we started out as Sticks and Stones. And that name kind of stuck since. And then we kind of transitioned to be more of a professional band in 2019. Worked with a lot of great musicians during COVID on writing and recording. Did our debut album in 2024 and 2025, came out half and half. And yeah, we do hard rock. We're kind of borderline metal sometimes in some breakdowns. Definitely draw a lot of inspiration from active rock 2000s type of bands. Like you hear on WWE every time you tune in as a kid. Um, and that's kind of what inspired us. We love the '80s stuff, the '90s stuff. We kind of mix it all together to get our sound.
So growing up as brothers, was music always part of your guys' life?
Yeah, always. Like we come from a very musical family. Like my uncle plays guitar. My grandfather had a band for a long time. And pretty much we were just surrounded by music. Our mom is a like trained pianist, and so like we have a piano upstairs, like literally in our like living room. Like, so we were just surrounded by it.
Yeah.
Every time family came over, we had get-togethers. The whole family was just jamming, and there was just music everywhere. And then so it was only natural for us to eventually start playing ourselves, you know?
Yeah. So who was the first one to seriously say we should start a band and actually do something?
Well, Nick started out playing. We both started at 7.
Yeah.
Nick's 2 years older than I am, so Nick started out on guitar at first, and then he did his own like kind of recital thing by himself in a band. Um, and then it was kind of just natural that we'd be in the same band as brothers because we can rehearse together, make it easy. So we just started playing the recital things together. And then we're just like, because we had always growing up, we did a bunch of stuff. We're both black belts in Taekwondo, did that growing up, um, played soccer at a high level, and then eventually we just decided music is what we really love, and that's what we're going to push forward with. And we got more serious with the band, like definitely around that COVID time.
Can you show me a kick real quick?
Pardon? Oh, my kit.
Yeah, can I should no, a kick. I want to see a Taekwondo kick.
Oh fuck, I don't know if we got enough room over here.
I,
Oh yeah,
I yeah, thanks.
let me see. I'm gonna fucking kick Nick in the head. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. What
What kind of kick?
Yeah, put your hand up, bro. Let me do like a quick little question mark kick.
All right.
Let me see.
All right.
We in frame. Hold up. I
Yeah.
didn't stretch nothing, bro. I'm old now.
No, you're good.
Let me open up the hips, bro. All right, put that hand up.
There we fucking go. That's the shit I'm talking about, dude.
All right.
All
I
right.
got pop fucking hip, but there you go. Still got it. Unk still got it.
That's good. That's good. So, what type of bands were playing in your guys' house when growing up?
Lot of 80s rock.
Hmm.
Metallica mainly, I would say. Guns N' Roses too. And then that was more like our mom was more into like 80s rock, and our dad used to keep like a lot of CDs and stuff in the car. Like I believe it was we
Yeah,
had like a
but just
Stone Temple Pilots record. We had
Core. Was it Core
audio.
now?
We had an Audio Slave record,
That album was always playing.
and yeah, we just kind of grew up listening mainly to 80s rock, and then some 90s and early 2000s kind of like grunge rock.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean that definitely, I mean, had a major influence on the type of music we ended up liking.
Yeah, and like I
But
said earlier, we were huge WWE fans growing up as kids, and so we used to watch it all the time. And the type of music that was, every theme song was pretty much that active rock, that hard rock style music, and we loved it.
Was there one moment in your guys' life when you realized music could be more than just a hobby?
Yeah, I definitely think it was.
around that
Yeah,
2020
around
time.
around COVID, I think we had a great opportunity during COVID to work with some Canadian artists on like the Zoom sort of meeting things, or you're like it's kind of like a coaching thing for songwriting. And we worked with Leon Harrison from the Lazies, John Harvey from Monster Truck, who are two great frontmen from Canadian bands, and they really, you know, like we had never written music before, like our own original stuff, and learning our own process through their tutorship, made us realize like we can do this, and songwriting um is not a far off possibility. Like the songs you're on the radio, like those guys can, they're just people too, and it's not a impossible thing to reach.
Do you guys remember your first live show together? And what was that like?
Oh yeah, that was geez, that was this has been like what, fucking 2010
20
or something, like, or I think it was like maybe eight or
Flash
nine,
Monkey
and
Death might have been
yeah, it
20.
was only played Walk This Way.
Oh my
Yeah, and
god.
I think I was like 8 or 9 playing Walk This Way. Nick was singing it, had no idea what the lyrics meant at all, which is pretty funny. And I think I played on like an electric kit, and like this recital thing.
Yeah.
And that was definitely crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember
Throwback.
even all those um when I was younger, because we're also like big into football, and we got into like a family fantasy football league at one point, and
Mhm.
they used to do like some of the recitals in like the fall during football
During football
season,
season.
Yeah.
and we used to do it at a bar, right? So I
Uh,
remember I go back and watch some of these old videos of us playing, and every single time it's just me sitting on the drums playing, and I'm like, why am I always looking over to the left every time? And I remember now I was always watching the TVs because they'd have football on, and I'm like tracking my fantasy football like players and like, yo, go get a touchdown, bro. I need to beat my uncle this week in fantasy football while we're playing. Which I remember being really funny. I used to get distracted really like a lot when I was a kid playing drums. So it'd be funny and just see me staring off into space while playing.
so what was the worst gig you guys played on early in your career?
Worst gig?
Oof. I mean, all those like, I wouldn't say worse. Like it depends on.
Just like
I would,
bad?
I wouldn't say we
yeah.
had like any sort of like really bad shows.
I
Like
mean, one of my favorite shows, because it was a bad show, I guess, bad show.
Yeah.
Was like around 2019, like that when we first started playing live, like professionally. And we got called like last minute to play at like a local bar, like literally like the day before. Like, can you just go play 2 sets, whatever?
oh
So like
yeah.
no one was there, but a bunch of my buddies came out because they're like, yo, just go hang out. Um, and all I remember is we had to play 2 sets. We had maybe 8 songs prepared. So by like the second set, it was just like a couple of regulars at the bars and a couple of my buddies.
We
So
just showed no songs. We
we
were
were
just
just
trying to
taking
learn
requests. We
something.
were playing random shit. I think Nick got like gaslit into playing Taylor Swift at one point.
Yeah.
Uh, I had like my effects pad, so I was like playing just like meme sounds like the whole show. So that was it was bad, but it was kind of fun.
Yeah.
To just have like a loose kind of show like that. So that was pretty cool.
Wait, can you sing like a Taylor Swift song like right now, or was that just for that?
Fuck no, bro.
Are
Hell
you
no.
sure?
Come on, bro. You want to shake it off?
I'm pretty damn
You
sure,
want to shake
bro.
it
Yeah,
off?
you're gonna shake it off.
Not looking to shake it off.
Yeah.
So you guys just said that you started playing professionally in 2019, and only a year later, COVID happened. So
Yeah.
how hard did that hit you guys?
Honestly, I feel
Yeah,
like
for us it was
for us, as much as it was a bad situation for everybody in the music industry, and a lot of people we knew here that were like on the cusp of having their band break through, like their progress was all halted. But since we were starting up and we were young, we were kind of just getting started. A lot of like I said, a lot of the top Canadian bands, like they weren't touring, so they started doing mentorship. So it gave us a great opportunity to meet a lot of people in the industry that maybe if COVID didn't happen, we wouldn't have had the chance to work with them,
Hmm.
because they're all in been touring. So for us, it was honestly a great thing to kind of slow down and learn more and learn as much as we can, about the industry, about music, songwriting from these guys that maybe we wouldn't have access to, if
during
they'd
like
be
a
on the
normal
road,
time.
during non-COVID, I guess.
Hmm. So being brothers in a band has to be different than just being normal bandmates. Do you guys ever fight a lot or no?
Um,
Not too much, honestly.
I
Like
I feel like definitely because we grew up together, and we have kind of the same sort of influences in terms of music. It's like stylistically, we don't really get into many disputes because we kind of have the same end goal in terms of our songwriting and kind of the same style of music we like. But there's always like some disagreements, but we're pretty lenient on if your idea gets in this song, then I'll get an idea and on the next song. And it's just us two that do all the songwriting for the band.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty easy. I mean, we learned from young, from playing video games with each other. Um, we always figure it out. Whether we're fighting in the basement over FIFA or something, we always figured it out. So
Yeah.
songwriting is nothing new.
Okay, that's good. So have you got, or what should I say is, what was your guys' biggest argument you guys have ever had over music? Or is that too personal for you guys?
I'm just trying to think of anything that'd be.
Like we really haven't had any sort of really major argument over anything
All right, well then
musical.
that's really good. Yeah, that's good.
Like I would say, like I said there, like it may be just like a song idea. Like maybe your his
Like
lyrics might work on this one song, and
yeah,
I'm really adamant about mine. And then we just we compromise. We just meet in the middle. We don't get too ridiculous about it. Um, so it's been easy to work with each other. So no really
So
bad
and
experiences.
honestly, the fact that we live together and we have access to this like really nice studio that we built is we like whenever either of us have ideas, we kind of just are down here like putting things together. It's very efficient, and it just we're able to just kind of sort through issues fast and just kind of sort through everything like it's way faster than if we were all like different bandmates and it's like you call up your one bandmate, hey dude, come over, like I have this one idea, send it to him, like 2 days later you forget what idea you even sent, you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
kind of direct and instant, so it definitely makes a big difference in the speed, and I personally think quality as well of our writing.
so unfortunately a lot of bands with siblings don't really last. What do you think makes you guys last?
Like I said, like we're really, I think the best thing is that stylistically we like the same things. So most like you see most arguments with any bands, not just brothers or anything, is people want to do different things musically. Like one person might want the music to be more heavy. They want add rap elements. One person wants to add in more popish elements, and then that's where the disagreement starts. But I think we have a singular vision as the two of us. And if we want to do other things and side projects and stuff, we can simply do that. By ourselves and do solo stuff like that. But definitely for Sticks and Stones as our band, we kind of have a singular vision, and we're pretty clear on that, and it's been working. So I don't see it faltering in the future.
Do you think being brothers makes your guys' chemistry stronger on stage?
I think so.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just the sheer amount of reps we get in playing together. Because you have a normal band, you got to go to a rehearsal spot. You got to coordinate between like four different people, of who's available when. You can only rehearse maybe once a week here and there. But being brothers, we've been playing together constantly since we were 7 years
Yeah.
old. And it's a chemistry it's hard to match. So it's we can read each other's thoughts on stage, so everything's smooth. It just takes one head nod, one sign, and we know what it is.
Now, Toronto has such a huge music culture. What is it like trying to stand out there?
Honestly, for rock music, it's not as big as it used to be.
Mhm.
There really aren't a whole lot of venues. There's not really too big of a scene, I would say, in Toronto. For rock music, we find it's mainly like in the pop and like hip hop element and stuff is where Toronto is more is yeah got a better scene, but
Yeah,
for rock music it doesn't, it's kind of small, and hence why we still play all the time here, but now we started touring in the US, and now we're going over to like the UK and Europe and stuff like that, and it's
hmm
just those markets are a little bit bigger for rock music in
yeah. I would
general.
say the one thing I would say about the Toronto scene over the last couple of years is a lot of the bands, because the rock scene is not as big. It's very niche. So the rock that makes it and what will be popping off will start to sound the same, and it'll be a niche genre of sub genre of rock. So it's more like at one point there was more of the bluesy rock, um, that was popping off here, and then there's a bit
So
more of like the pop
yeah,
punk
like the pop
rock,
rock kind of thing.
that was going for a bit, and it kind of comes and goes, but it's usually just a subgenre that'll be popping off.
Yeah.
Definitely, I haven't seen it for our sort of genre, the hard rock, since 3 Days Grace, for in terms of Canadian bands like that era.
So always constantly there's going to be huge concerts happening in Toronto. Do you guys think of maybe trying to become the go-to house opener for major tours coming through?
I mean, eventually, yeah, hopefully, is to kind of get big enough here where it's like when bigger bands are coming through here, we have enough of a fan support and like people wanting to hear our music that we can be that band that when the big acts come through, we're on the bill opening.
Yeah, it's definitely a goal of ours. And I think we're not too far off it. We've had the chance to open for some great acts coming through Toronto, as well as touring the U.S. with L.A. Guns and John Five from Motley Crue now, and then going to get out again with L.A. Guns in Europe coming this fall. So that'd be cool. But yeah, definitely get to that point where we can explore more opportunities locally in Toronto.
So on a percentage chart, how much or how close do you think you guys are to becoming like the number one opener in your guys' area?
I mean, it's a hard metric to give
Yeah,
you. There's a lot of aspects. It's dependent on promoters, and definitely with Live Nation now. There's certain promoters you have to be in with in order to get those spots. So it's definitely a hard market to break through. But we're slowly building step by step, and every year getting better and better at what we do, and trying to grow our fan base and trying to reach out to people through every medium, through podcast interviews, like this, and just try and build it and grind it out step by step to get to the next level we think we should be able to reach.
So obviously Toronto is going to be one of those cities where you can see a massive band any night of the week. Now, does that motivate you guys or does it make you just more competitive overall?
I think it motivates
I
us,
think it's
like
yeah, like
it,
very motivating.
especially one of the great things to see was we went to go watch Bad Omens play in Scotiabank Arena here a couple months ago, or maybe a month and a
Yeah, it
half
was about
ago.
a month, just over a month
And it
ago.
was
Yeah,
great to see. It was a
a
sold
young.
out arena for a young metal band, hard rock metal band. It just showed the signs of the overall like desire for rock music increasing, and metal, and we thought that was awesome, that a big band.
It was definitely
um
an eye-opening experience going to that concert and just seeing even just the demographic, how much younger the crowd was.
and seeing that demographic does exist.
Yeah.
So have you guys checked out Drake's Ice Block in Toronto yet or no?
No,
No,
I
I
think,
actually I saw they kind of melted it already, didn't they?
yeah,
The fire
someone
truck.
someone found there was like a release. They're looking for his release date or something of his new album. Yeah, I saw that. It was crazy.
I'm pretty
And
sure.
they
Wait, sorry to interrupt, but like I remember I saw a video like somebody called the firefighters because like it's blocking something. So like they're
Yeah,
starting to melt it with like the hose.
yeah, it was
Yeah,
just
and then
melted
they
with the fire
melted, dude. They
hose.
melted it down, and then they was like flooding the street because of how much water it was. But it was funny. Like at a point, you're seeing like clips on Instagram of people like going there with like ice picks and like
Yeah,
and all sorts of tools, just beating the crap out of these ice blocks.
like oh my god, I need to find what the next Drake album is.
Yeah, it was pretty funny, but yeah,
Jumping on top of there, yeah, just
definitely
I think there's like
a
cops
PR,
like chasing people too when doing that.
definitely a PR stunt decision by Drake, but kind of worked.
So Eaton Center is always chaos, random performers, preachers, huge crowds. What's the weirdest thing you've seen there? I know I probably pronounced that a little bit wrong, but
No,
sorry.
yeah, how you say it. I don't know. Anytime you go downtown Toronto, there's always characters. That's for
I
sure.
would definitely
Like there
say
was,
Toronto is very similar to New York,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
like
Just
a
the-
scaled down New
Like
York.
remember that time? Remember that time we went to go watch? I think it was Classic Albums Live, and then we were walking down the street, and then there was like the I don't know if the guy was homeless or something, but he was like tweaking, and he had like Tim Hortons or something,
Huh.
and he was like yelling like "Give me donuts" or something
No,
like
he's yelling
or
Timbits.
Timbit, yeah,
And
yeah, Timbit.
he tried to throw like a cup of water across the street at us, and it went like 2 feet, and we were just like,
He's
what the
like
hell is going
Timbit.
on? But that's just any downtown
Any
you go
downtown
to, like
area.
Toronto is definitely cool because of how multicultural we are. So like you go downtown, there's always some sort of festivals going on, always a bunch of cool stuff going on, and I definitely say it's very similar to New York in the kind of city landscape, just a bit scaled down.
I remember I went there for it's what's your guys' fair called again? CNE, CNE. I went there
Yeah,
for
yeah,
yeah, and that was pretty fun. But my dad wanted it, and well, my whole family wanted to check out Toronto. It was my first time being in Toronto, honestly. Like, well, that's not true. Just exploring the city part, I should say. And
Yeah,
when we first got there, we stopped, and the first thing I see is that there's one Islamic guy, okay, preaching about Islam and the Quran and stuff like that. And then there's like two Christians, like things already preaching down there. So across the,
yeah,
they're like right next to each other and they're just having a screaming match trying to preach louder. And then when we were walking, because it was so loud, there was like so much chaos, we bumped into like five different drug addicts. Just
yeah.
one guy was generally tweaking in the one corner. And it's just like,
It, it's definitely gotten worse over the last couple of years with the the everything the
yeah,
price of living's gone up a
yeah. It's
lot.
gone up
So
like a lot here, and so there's a lot of drug abuse problems and just like homelessness issues.
I mean, we don't go into the city that often, like not on a day to day. We live like for 30, 40 minutes outside the city. But definitely going there every time, it gets worse and worse with that sort of thing happening.
so let's talk about the song Changes. What inspired that?
That song, I mean, that song I kind of wrote about like it's kind of a breakup song, but also kind of not. It's a little bit more general. But it's just yeah, like the I feel like that chorus kind of came to me pretty fast, and that the "Don't come back again, say there'll be changes." I've waited now, or I've heard it now 1,000 times. I'm sick of waiting. It's just like trying to just get rid of toxic people in your life, and people that saying they're going to change, do all the right things, but it's just never the case. And that's kind of what led me to, or led both of us, I guess, to writing the lyrics for that song.
So did the song come from a personal place, or were you just kind of making a story, or just chasing a sound, I should say?
A little bit of both, honestly. There was definitely some personal influence on it. Um, Definitely related to some things in my personal life, and but yeah, there's that. But it's also just it is also just a general story too. Like it could definitely like I could see like people relating to it in different ways than just how specific it is. Because I mean, a lot of people probably listen to it and initially think it's a breakup song, but it's really just about anybody that you've kind of gone through that kind of thing with.
So how did you guys connect with Ray Loser and Scott Bush?
Ray Loser.
I don't know.
uh,
What?
Luzier, yeah, I don't know.
I,
Fucking
I,
laugh.
I
Go
don't
on, bro. Give him a break, man. Jesus Christ.
know. Yeah.
no,
No.
it's
Um,
funny.
Is he like
Ray,
German or something?
what's up?
Is he like French or German?
I actually don't know his
I'm
background.
not sure. Luzier would be like, I don't
It
know.
might be French.
I
I
have
don't
Yeah,
no
know.
this
idea.
sounds. I'm
I have no
sorry.
idea.
I'm just surprised.
No,
No, no, it's just yeah, it's just
I'm
funny.
trying to think. When did we? You met him at like a Gojira show
Yeah,
in
but the first time I
Nashville,
met him, yeah,
but
was
then
in
we. But
Nashville at a Gojira show. But I'm trying to remember
it
exactly
was
how.
no, it was Nashville Music City. It was the Music City Drum Show.
Yeah, yeah, we.
Because Ray Luzier is
He's a
uh,
pro artist, and he was doing like a clinic there.
yeah. So and also SE, he's with SE microphones,
Yeah.
and we are endorsed by SE as well. So we went, we're hanging out with our rep for at SE, and Ray was just there at the booth, so we got to talking to him, and he's a super nice
Hanging
guy.
out with him. He had his whole family there and stuff. And we were just hanging out, and I think he also because we were there like as a family too, and I think like that whole family dynamic he was really
Relating to, yeah.
relating to. Yeah,
But no, he was a really super cool guy, and
super
then
nice guy.
he built a home studio in Nashville. I want to say a year or two ago. And we were like, yeah, we got to come check it out. So this was last year, last fall, we went down there, and him and Scott were in the studio, and we originally planned to write only one song, which will be there was an active rock song, like a heavier song that we wrote on the first day that we planned to write that's going to come out on this new album. But then Changes was just we had extra time, we had an extra day in the studio, and then Nick just had the one little riff idea for Changes, and then that song kind of just came to life like within a couple hours.
Really fast.
We were just all clicking.
So you mentioned that things almost clicked instantly. How rare is that type of chemistry in the studio?
Honest,
It's I don't
honestly, we've had a pretty good experience with like all the people that we've written with. Like we've been fortunate enough to write with some very experienced and very just educated and good songwriters in the industry, and so every single one of them that we've written with, I feel like it's kind of all gone really smoothly.
Yeah, I
I
mean, there's definitely a couple times where, there's some days where, it's just not clicking. Like you can go into the studio and try and write a song, like, sit down, we're going to write a song today. And it will take you 10 hours and you might get one riff down or maybe one little verse part down.
Yeah,
Or you sit down there and like the song Feel Again for us
this song's done like an hour,
took I
maybe
think
two
like an
hours.
hour or two with Joe Rickard in his home studio, and we just banged out the song like hour or two. Just had good ideas flowing, and it just happened to work out really well.
Similar with changes and
Yeah,
the
working with
other
Ray and
song with
Scott,
Ray.
yeah, they came along really well. And it's definitely it's like you enter like a flow state, with writing, and that finding the right people to work with that you can get into that state with has been really awesome for us.
And we've been lucky enough for that to pretty much be the case almost every single time. I mean, there was once or twice where you're kind of sitting there for a few hours trying to get past like people, what's the bridge for this song, whatever, and then you're kind of sitting there for a little while. But for the most part, it's just easy. I don't know.
So what makes Lose Your Ear so special? I don't know. Yeah, studio so special.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean it's a really cool home studio he built there, like separate outside of his house. And it was, we had a good live room, and we were able to just sit down there and just, write and record at the same time, which is always helpful to, make sure all your ideas are being, counted. And then he's like out in the middle of nowhere. Like I think he lives near where's a Jelly Roll? Is it by
Yeah,
Jelly
he
Roll?
lives about like I would say he lives about like half hour outside of Nashville.
Yeah, so but they're like he's like in the middle of nowhere, like
It's like ranch, yeah,
fields.
like
So
ranch.
like you step outside to out the studio and it's just like nature. So it's like calms you down, like gives you like peace and quiet. Um and we can really like refresh your mind. So it was a really cool experience working at his studio.
Who brings more ideas to the table first?
I definitely think it's a mix. A lot of our songs start with guitar riffs. So definitely, I would say Nick usually gets the ball rolling on a lot of songs. But in terms of melodies and lyrics, it's kind of a 50-50 of just whatever we
Yeah,
like better between the two of our ideas.
and
Now,
usually the
oh, sorry.
yeah, and usually the process is, yeah, it's like what Robert said. We start with like a riff, and then we'll usually be able to bang out like the song instrumentally, and then we kind of will just go separate, like go or kind of depending on most of the times it's like this, but we'll kind of go like in separate rooms or just kind of to ourselves and try and figure out vocal melodies and stuff like that, and then a day or two or a couple hours or something come back and kind of shoot out both of like our melody ideas and kind of pick and choose where which one was better and which one was worse.
Now, do you guys have to, or do you guys ever scrap songs completely, even if they took days to write?
Oh
Oh yeah,
yeah, all the
yeah,
time.
yeah.
And I definitely think because we the COVID writing sessions I was telling you about, we used to be like almost like a Van Halen style type of rock band. And the first five songs we wrote were in that sort of genre.
Mhm.
And then we spent like a whole summer plus even a couple more months than that, maybe even a whole
It was
year,
pretty much a whole year for the first
just
record.
writing
Yeah,
and writing and writing and making demos and demos. And we maybe had like 20 something songs that just got progressively heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier until we found our sound. That eventually became the Dead Memories album. But yeah, we scrap songs like all the time.
even on this album, there's a bunch of songs that we had to cut.
But I think the great part about having our own studio in our house that we built and we can kind of record here is we have a song idea. It's just all right. Meet me in the basement real quick, and we
And it's
record,
done in like an
and
hour.
the demo is done. So it's definitely good for our creative process. We can really capitalize on ideas and catch lightning in a bottle. And sometimes you go back listen to it a couple days after, and it doesn't match up with some of the other songs, and then you just scrap it. So
So, do you think or are there songs that fans haven't heard yet that you think could become like one of the biggest tracks?
Oh, 100%. I mean, I mean, there's always a bias for musicians that, the next song you write or the song you're working on right now, you always think is your best song. But we have 5 new songs coming out on this album that I think are really
Yeah,
awesome. We
really
got a
good
chance to
songs.
play them live at a show last week. We got some great fan response from the songs, and we think this whole 10 song album is just some of our best stuff.
So you guys have been touring pretty hard recently. What's life on the road like?
It's definitely different.
It's
It's
really fun, but it also does get tiring and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, you go from well, a lot of musicians deal with the problem of getting off the stage. You've had such high highs getting off the stage. Getting to be able to decompress after shows.
Yeah.
And we found that to be really true. Like it takes like a 2 hours after a show to like really calm down and you know get ready to go to sleep or get on the road to drive. Um, and especially Canada, because we toured across Canada and then we went toured in the U.S. Canada is very different because you have to drive like 12 hours, 10 hours
To
to
get
get to like the
anything.
next music scene or to the next like the next major city, right? So Canada was a lot of long drives, beautiful scenery going through the west side of Canada.
Yeah.
But the U.S. was different.
It
It
was
was
like 3 hours
3 hour
drive.
drive, so you're getting in um, a little earlier. Definitely more back to back shows, but it was been different experiences, but it's been really fun.
So what is the most exhausting part of being on tour?
Driving,
Yeah,
for
it's
sure.
definitely the because sometimes if you got to get from I think last tour the bad one was we had to go from New Orleans to Austin, Texas, and that was about I think a 10-hour drive, and we played New Orleans, and then the next day we had to be at the show, another playing back to back shows. So in Austin, so it's 10 hours. So we
Driving
drove,
overnight
we drove 7 hours or 6 hours at
after the
night right
show.
after the show. So we didn't get to the hotel. In it was somewhere out at the outskirts of Louisiana. Till like 5 in the morning, and then you gotta go to sleep. Maybe
Wake up
sleep,
early
maybe sleep 4 hours, get breakfast, and
and
then you're
then
back on
go
the road.
back on the road to get to the next show.
And then
And
you,
then I think the highway shut down too,
oh
right?
yeah, that was
Remember?
yeah, it was brutal, and
That
it
was
was like
brutal.
it was like 114
And
Fahrenheit or
that
something.
was after sleeping in that like moist hotel, man. Holy.
Yeah, no, it's definitely humid as hell in Louisiana. Found that out. But yeah, no, that was kind of exhausting because you're on like 4 hours of sleep. Um, but I was definitely just packing Monster Energies the whole tour, so that got me through.
What is the funniest thing that's happened in a van, hotel, or backstage?
Oh geez, what
There's a
stuff we can
lot.
say? Um, Let me think. I mean, there's definitely been a fair share of crazy moments. Trying to think of one. Let me think if I can single one out. I mean, and not really crazy moment, but one of the coolest moments was in we played a show in Gramercy Theater in Manhattan, um, and we played the show, and we looked down at the front row, and Kerry King from Slayer
And Ace
and
Frehley
Ace Frehley from Kiss,
were like in the photo pit.
yeah, we're like right at the front while we were playing because we were opening up for John Five, and that was
That
awesome.
was, yeah,
I
crazy.
remember we went backstage and we're like, "Yo, did you fucking see Gary King and Ace really in the front row?" We're like, "Yeah, dude." So that was really cool.
Or a funny one as was in I think it was Houston, where after the show that like old lady was like telling mom like, yeah, I'm gonna take him home. I'll have him back by the morning. And she was
Oh,
just
geez, that one
getting
lady,
harassed.
that one lady was hitting on you. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
I
was
was
pretty
getting like
funny.
harassed by this one old lady.
Did you did you want to give her it or no?
No, no, no,
Yeah.
definitely not, bro.
Come on, bro. You didn't want to bang the granny in the 115-degree weather. Come on, bro.
So you guys just mentioned about how hard it really is being on the road. How do you guys even stay sane after being weeks on weeks of being on the road?
I mean, we're gonna have to find that out because the first couple tours we've been on, last
Or
three
been like
tours,
2 weeks, two and a half
two
weeks
week,
long,
2.5 week long. But this tour we're going in Europe
like 4.5.
is 4.5 weeks. So we'll get back to you on that. So far we've been saying on the last couple of tours, but this
Gotta
one's
gotta pace the eating and drinking though, man. Holy, like last tour, I think I left at like 170, 175. I got back at like 195. Like
yeah,
my
no,
face just got put on so much weight so
yeah,
fast.
it's the one bad part is like just fast food all the time
And
because
you're
you don't
just
really have
sitting for
time
most of the time, like in either in the van or this time the bus, whatever. It's just like you're kind of just like not moving,
sitting
like
around. Yeah,
not burning any calories whatsoever unless you're on stage, and that's about it.
yeah, but it's definitely going to be a new experience for us to do like a month, pretty much a full month, or just over a month this time in Europe. So that's going to be cool.
So, what is your guys' favorite fast food stop while touring?
Bucky's, Bucky's,
Bucky's.
Never had.
Um,
good.
yeah.
Is that good?
Uh, it's like a
It's like a truck stop,
gas
like gas
station
station
truck
thing.
stop type of
But
thing,
dude, it's like the size of a Walmart.
and they got
It's
like
crazy.
brisket and
Yeah,
stuff,
they have
like
like
sandwich,
brisket,
beef
jerky,
jerky.
like every. I don't know. It's just
I
crazy.
would say Raising Cane's. I
Or
really
raise. Oh yeah, Raising
I
Cane's,
love some
dude.
Raising Cane's.
Is the sauce really that good?
I really
It
like
is
it.
that.
I
It
really
is
like
that
it
good. Honestly, I think the sauce is what makes Raising
because
Cane's.
I'm not too big on the fries, the crinkle cut fries.
Like they're
The
alright,
tenders are good and the sauce are good.
but yeah,
Those
the
two
sauce
just
definitely makes Raising Cane's, but it's really good.
What city surprised you the most while touring?
um I would say Columbus, Ohio, because we played actually Columbus and also Flint, Michigan. We played a show
Yeah,
in the cool thing about Flint was it's like we played the machine shop and that's like a community like the whole community comes out to that venue. And it was like such a cool thing to see such a like a community like
those that's so passionate about rock music.
yeah, that was super cool. And then Columbus, Ohio, like I just thought yeah, because Columbus is kind of in the middle of nowhere in
Yeah,
Ohio.
even the venue, like the because we were walking around the outside of the venue and it looked like an abandoned like Call of Duty map.
Yeah, like there was like because it's like in the
It
middle of
was
nowhere, but the
yeah,
venue was like
the
it was like
venue's crazy.
massive
So
like venue club, and we were like we had no expectations of how many people were gonna be at the show, and it was like 1,000 or like 1,200 people there, and they're
yeah,
going nuts, man. It was fucking awesome.
So, what is the craziest fan interaction you've had?
Um,
probably getting harassed by the granny. Honestly,
Wow. You really did you get that turned on by her, dude?
yeah, he's got PTSD.
yeah, a little bit. I can't lie.
Okay. So you guys mentioned early on in the interview, you guys have toured with LA Guns. So that had to expose you to a different generation of rock. So do you guys think you picked up older fans from that run?
Yeah, I mean the greatest thing to me about touring with LA Guns was they have such a wide spectrum of fans. Like they have obviously the older crowd that grew up like listening to them, but then they have like a lot of younger fans too, which I was surprised with. And it was cool to see. We got a couple of responses from like these people in like their 40s, 50s that were like, I like they give up because a lot of people like they grew up with 80s rock music kind of gave up on original bands,
I'm
original
trying to
rock
find new
bands,
bands. Yeah,
and kind of just stuck with the Guns N' Roses. Just said, I'll just listen to my '80s rock, and because they thought there's nothing good out there. And I think the best part about touring with LA Guns was being able to talk to these people and have them say like watching you guys play made me reminded me of when I used to watch Guns N' Roses or I watched them for the first time or I saw my favorite band back in the '80s for the first time. And you guys
yeah,
gave me that feeling of when I was watching shows back then, and that to me is awesome. Being able to connect, get the '80s rock people back invested into rock, into
into
new
newer rock.
rock.
Yeah,
And then the same thing with the younger crowd. Being able to try and get them to listen to new rock is awesome.
So what do you think you learned from watching a veteran band like LA Guns almost every night?
definitely a lot of stage presence stuff. We actually started because when we went on tour with them, they have these like lights that they bring, these like LED lights that they put in front like the stage,
I like the floodlights.
like
Yeah,
floodlights, and they're kind of like angled up, and they're kind of where like the guitar cab areas are, and and we just thought that was really cool. Like we like learned some like stage like that, so we started actually doing that in our own shows, like bringing that kind of stuff.
But
Um,
also just the professionalism of
yeah,
people that that have been doing it for so many years, just day in and day out, putting on awesome performances, and they were super cool, super encouraging of us, and it was a great experience.
So, what is the best advice you have gotten from another band so far?
I would,
don't be a dick.
yeah, I was about to say, I think the best advice we've gotten was from Ryan Roxy of Alice Cooper, who told us, plain and simple, the best advice he's like I can give you in the music industry is don't be a dick, because no one wants to, work with anyone that, is a dick or is a diva. You always got to be humble, down to earth. Got to be, willing to work with people, and be, just real. Don't get let have an ego about it, because no one's gonna want to work with you. And just be nice, man. Don't be a dick.
So, you guys have already mentioned old ladies. So, how many times did you guys bang old cougars so far?
I'm at a tally of 0 so far. Happy to say that.
About like 500 and no,
He's almost on the
no.
century mark. We're keeping track. We got a tally board in the back now.
No,
Um,
none.
not yet, man.
You
I don't
got
know. Maybe one day there'll be an old lady that I'm just like, God damn, I need that.
Fucking Motley Crue just started slowly playing in the background. No, I'm kidding. Well, yeah, none so far.
which brother gets the most attention from fans after the shows?
It's
It's probably
definitely
me. It's
definitely
probably me,
Nick.
but because I'm like in like the front man, right? So like I'm the person like dead center stage.
And you also have, oh, I got to get off the stage. Let me unplug my guitar and roll my amp 2 feet, and then I got to take down my whole drum kit. So I'm usually in the back for a lot of the show, after the show, packing up. So definitely Nick is good with the fan interaction, is going to the merch table and talking to people, and then I come out, have a couple beers with people, hang out. So that's always good.
Who is most likely to disappear after the show and just show up a couple hours later?
Luke,
our, our bass player.
our bass player Luke. Yeah, he's like the king of just disappearing, or you too. But yeah,
At least, yeah. I mean, I remember the last time. Where was that, in Florida? I just went to fucking Dairy Queen randomly at like fucking 11 at night or 10 at night, and then the guy's like, "Where the fuck are you?" I'm like, "I'm getting a blizzard," and then, that was fucking funny. I went on, like, I thought the walk was like 15 minutes, bro. It was like 40 fucking minutes. I walked to like a random Dairy Queen in Florida. I think we were in Tampa, but yeah.
If you were on death row, what would your final meal be?
Just give me a ribeye steak. Give me some fries and maybe some cane
bro,
sauce. Fuck it, throw it in there.
real ones don't Guy Fieri burgers, bro. The Carnival Cruise Lines.
I genuinely cannot believe I didn't hear no poutine come from you guys.
Oh,
Poutine is fire. Poutine is fire.
I got a hot take. I don't like poutine. I don't like
That is
poutine.
kind of a
I'm not
crazy
a I'm
take.
not a poutine guy.
It's
Give
like
me some, give me some fries and ketchup, man. I'm good to go.
I understand that, but like it's kind of like you can
What, sacrilegious?
yeah, they're like kind of like you could say they're almost two different things. It's just like fries, but kind of better, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I agree with that statement.
No, I
I
know
fully agree with that
I'm
statement.
definitely in the minority, being against poutine, but I'm yet to have one where I'm like, yo, this shit is fire. So, maybe I'm not eating the right poutine.
I can't
Well,
lie, the poutine at Costco, like the Costco food court poutine, slaps.
I've never had it. What the only poutine that I've had so far is Harvey's. I like Harvey's the best.
Harvey's
Harvey's,
good.
yeah.
Harvey's is solid. Harvey's is solid.
I like just normal Harvey's fries. I think are super underrated.
No, yeah,
Like,
there's yeah.
fries, super good.
What is the weirdest thing a fan has ever given you?
Give him.
I don't think I've been given anything super weird at all.
Yeah, no, me either.
I
Nothing
mean,
crazy.
that old lady was trying to give you her body, so.
I was gonna say, she's probably trying to give me some.
What's something people assume about rock bands that is completely wrong?
um, Let me think. I guess maybe just like the
They wear a lot of spandex.
no, No, I think just live shows, like people that like I've never played live. Um, it's kind of I feel like actually no, the one thing I'll say is backstage. Like people always like think like glorify backstage. They've never been backstage.
Mhm.
When like most of the time backstage is just some like random ass room in like some poorly lit hallway. And just a bunch of gear just stacked up. You can barely walk through there. Like everyone always like fantasizes of like, yo, backstage must be sick, bro. Gotta
Or
go
like, or
backstage.
like one time we were hanging with our friends from In Flames. They're like a Swedish melodic death metal band, and we were hanging with them backstage at Budweiser, which is like an amphitheater here. And we were backstage with them, and they just had the PS4
Hooked up, yeah.
hooked up, and they just had a couple beers, and we're just playing. I forget what they were playing, but they were just playing video games essentially. And I think we might be doing that too on this tour. On the bus, just bring like a PS4, bring like
Hook
a
it up, bro.
yeah, bring a gaming setup.
So, do you guys sell any merch or no?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
100%. We do t-shirts, CDs, bandanas,
Bandanas,
hats, toques,
pick necklaces.
a lot of stuff, man.
Yeah, yeah, lots of stuff.
So, overall, what is next for the band?
Well, like I said, we got an album coming out either end of May, early June. That date will be locked in very shortly, so that'll be on our Instagram. We're really looking forward to getting that out there. This summer we're playing some a festival in Vaughan. We're playing a couple shows around, and then like I said, European tour with LA Guns in late October, early November. Well, all of November, I guess. And that's gonna be sick.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun.
Are we getting new music for the band soon?
Yeah, yeah. There'll
Yeah,
be
this album, like, there'll be this next release will be 5 tracks,
It'll be
five more
because we put
tracks.
out the last five songs have been singles off this album, and then there's five additional songs that'll be on the album release.
What is one goal you guys have still haven't achieved yet?
I definitely would say playing Scotiabank Arena in
Yeah, man.
Toronto, which hopefully soon. But I mean, it's definitely a lofty goal, but eventually want to get there. Playing
Yeah.
our hometown arena.
Where do you see Sticks and Stones in 5 years?
Hopefully playing that arena.
Yeah, hopefully,
Yeah.
hopefully in that arena, ripping up
Hopefully in that
ripping up
arena.
a show to a couple thousand people.
Or even playing Red Rocks in Colorado. That venue's crazy. That venue looks insane.
Yeah, no, that's just definitely just further ahead than we are now, and I know it's been the way we've been grinding it out and getting better and better each year. We have full faith in ourselves that we can
We can
take this
achieve it.
bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And if it's got to be not an overnight success and one step at a time, we're ready for that. Just build it up.
Finally, how can my followers keep up with Sticks and Stones and support the band?
Yeah, for sure. Our Instagram or just is Sticks and Stones Band _ official. We're on Facebook, Twitter, or X, I guess it's called now, TikTok a little bit, and then Spotify and all streaming services. It's Sticks N, like Guns N' Roses, like Sticks,
Sticks and Stones band,
letter N, Stones Band,
and
and
you'll
yeah,
find us.
yeah. Go check out our music. Let us know what you think. Give us a follow on Instagram. And that always helps the band. Maybe come see us live if you're in Europe this fall.
Okay.
Or yeah,
That'd be awesome.
All right. I just want to say thank you guys so much for being on my show again. It's been my pleasure speaking with you guys.
yeah,
Yeah, no, thanks
likewise.
for having us on, man. This is a great combo.
Very great
Uh,
comment.
we appreciate your time.
Likewise. God bless you.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
as
God bless
well.
you too, man.
Take care.
All right.